I think that when people give up is the best time for us to hang in there. For example, what I did last year to reduce FBA fee by over 33% as I remember, or even more, for one of my best selling products. What I have learned is that many times what's better for us is to say no or decide what not to do. Hi guys, today I'm going to show you what I have been doing to basically maintain and even increase profitability for my Amazon FBA business in this 2024 and coming years amid the rising fees from Amazon. As you know, they introduced early this year inbound placement fee on every unit, or low inventory fee, or high return rate fee based on certain categories threshold. So now is the winter in Melbourne, in Australia. It's not just in Melbourne, and outside the window you can see that some leaves started to turn golden, and actually outside of my window it looks very nice. Let me show you. Beautiful, right? So I've noticed some people talking about giving up. I think that when people give up is the best time for us to hang in there. I know that is easier said than done. I have seen in one of the categories that I'm selling in, there has been slightly less competition. It's not something significant, but I've noticed that in terms of a number of sellers and TPC. At the same time, a number of things that we can improve or optimize in order to maintain or even increase our net profit margin. So here are the 5 things that I have been doing to protect my net profit margin. The first thing is I reviewed the product's packaging size and weight in order to save Amazon FBA fee. As you know, that is the biggest per unit fee component. FBA fee is charged per unit and based on the packaging size and weight of the item. So for example, what I did last year to reduce FBA fee by over 33% as I remember, or even more, for one of my best selling products. It has 2 variants. They're just different in colors. What I did is to remove one unvital feature of the product that allowed us to triple fold the product instead of double folding it. So the result was we decreased FBA fee by over 33%, as I said. Almost $4 goes straight to my net profit, of course, assuming all other per unit cost components maintain the same. And even better, Amazon refunded the difference in FBA fee charged for all items sold with new packaging. And I've just done it again this year with another best seller SKU in my portfolio. I literally just got the result email from Amazon a few days ago. So it is an oversized item and it comes in a carton gift box around 42 inches long. What I did was I talked to the supplier, and the supplier suggested to break the item down in 2 main pieces to reduce the length of the unit box. So customers will have to assemble the product, but with only 2 simple steps. Remember that when doing this, like changing the packaging or removing some unimportant features, I always make sure that user experience is still good and will not be heavily affected in a negative way. At the same time, I created a visual manual to come in the box to make sure that customers know how to assemble the product properly, even though there are just 2 simple steps. So the result was we reduced over 10% of fulfillment fee for this product, and again Amazon reimbursed for the FBA fee that has been charged on all the units sold with the new smaller packaging. So if you think that there is a chance for you to reduce the packaging size of the product, I highly recommend you sit down with your business partner or talk to your supplier to find a way to improve the packaging of the product, because it will significantly reduce FBA fee, which is the biggest fee component if you sell on Amazon using Amazon FBA. Alright, the second thing that I have done this year is to decide to discontinue a number of my products. Let me tell you why. First off, I know some of you may feel painful thinking about this, but what I have learned is that many times what's better for us is to say no or decide what not to do. I remember the story about Steve Jobs. I'm not comparing myself with him or anything like that, but when he returned to Apple in 1997, he drastically simplified the company's product line. He reduced the product line from dozens of models to just 4 main categories in order to streamline operations and refocus the company's strategy. This year, I decided to discontinue around 10 SKUs in 2 categories. At the same time, I've decided to focus heavily on 1 category and 1 brand. So of the 10 SKUs, 8 of them even still making profit, but they have lower margin now and lower turnover rate, which resulted in higher advertising cost of sale. At the same time, they require the same amount of effort to maintain compared to what effort that I have to put in to maintain higher margin and higher turnover rate SKUs. So these SKUs become a burden to my product portfolio rather than good contributors, right? It's the same thing with your investment portfolio. Whichever asset that is not producing good return, you may want to sell it and replace it with like higher return asset. So it's the same thing. Even 2 years ago, these SKUs were making good money at high turnover rate, but things changed. Competition is still at the top level, and at the same time, the demand is not growing at the same pace. And the second reason is that my priority changes as well. The strategy and vision changed. So I've had to restructure the portfolio to make it aligned with my long-term vision. And the third reason is my resources. You know, I remember a Chinese proverb is to know yourself and to know your enemy before you enter a battle. But I think that like before that, we should know ourselves as well. So I'm pretty much a one-person business. Of course, I have designers, photographers, video editors, PPC intern, or content creator associates all over the world. Basically, I outsource many things in my business, but at the end of the day, I'm still like sole owner of the business. Not like many of you guys. I know that like you are husband and wife, you have 50% partner or like a couple of friends, or you are a bigger company, you have different teams dedicated for different brands, right? So it will be a different story. But I'm talking about my case, and I believe that many of you guys out there are also sole entrepreneurs and sole owners of your business. So reviewing the resources, particularly time, is the most valuable asset. I decided to focus my resources to build something significant rather than involving in multiple brands and nothing becomes significant. So building a brand is like building an ecosystem for it, right? To have a website, a social media presence, email marketing automation. At the same time, you still have to take care of the Amazon side of it. As you know, that there are a lot of things going on daily. and different brands, meaning different ecosystems and different audiences. It will take a lot of resources to grow them simultaneously, at least for me. So that's the reason why I decided to discontinue a number of skills in my product portfolio. And the third thing that I have been doing consistently, which is very important to maintain and grow sales and net profit, is the listing conversion rate. I know that it's not something sexy or new, but it has been always the core of an online business, not just on Amazon, but if you sell anywhere else, on your own website or on other marketplaces like TikTok or like on Facebook, conversion rate is always an important part of your business. But I have to admit that I have not always done that at a level of top priority, but this year and moving forward, it will be my top 3 priorities in my FBA business. Let me tell you why. Because higher conversion rate means higher sales velocity, and without spending more money on advertising and with the same amount of traffic. For example, if I can increase conversion rate of my listing by 20%, assuming all other factors maintain the same, with the same amount of traffic, same ad spend, I increase sales 20%, right? That means more profit will be made. And on the flip side, lower listing conversion rate means higher advertising cost of sales, because you spend a lot of money driving people to your listing and you have to pay for every click. And if your listing is not good enough, so people, when they come to your listing, they will leave and they go for somewhere else. And so basically you're leaving money on the table. You are not utilize the most of the traffic that comes to your listing. I'm talking about my case as well. So listing conversion rate lies in photos. I've never used manufacturer's photo from day one, and resolution is really key in online shopping environment, and many other things in making product photos, like how to answer the key questions that customers have in your photos so that they can get the information as quickly as possible. Other things like videos, copy, and everything else, including back-end optimization, A+ content, even premium A+ content, Amazon store and Amazon store posts as well. Everything affects your product's presence on the listing, will contribute to the listing conversion rate. So the listing is something that you use to communicate with your target customers. As you can see on the screen, my brand's conversion rate is higher than the category's average, and it's pretty close to the top. Not just traffic coming from PPC, but also organic traffic will benefit from higher listing conversion rate. Say you invest in driving external traffic to your listing on Amazon, right? So all of those efforts will be rewarded by higher listing conversion rate. That means those traffic sources will also bring more sales. When you improve listing conversion rate, it's like you kill 2 birds with 1 stone, even though I don't like to kill any bird with a stone. I think it is an old idiom. It's like the domino effect of one key thing that is, if it's improved, it will lead to many other benefits for the business. So listing conversion rate is key. That's why I wrote the book Zero to Bestseller, How to Build a 7-Figure Amazon Listing from Day One. So behind me is the new bookshelf that I just put up, and the first book I've got is my book. I just got it. This is the author order. It's a little bit big. It's the wrong trim size, so I'm redoing the trim size and redoing the cover of the book. And I'm so glad and happy I got it done. As you can see here, many examples and case study and research. I showed even step by step of how to do certain things. For example, find people on Fiverr or Upwork to do a number of things for you. Yeah, I'm so happy. So check out the link in the description of this episode for the book. I can't imagine one day I have a book. It's not a book for marketing. I know some people have a book just to give away, but this book is valuable information. I've sat down and wrote it and shared everything I know, I've learned and applied successfully in this book. So check it out, guys. In the book, I shared everything that I applied to my listing to make them become #1 new releases on Amazon US, the #1 best sellers, even generated sales before they had their first reviews. That's the key point, because the listing is persuasive enough for people to make a decision. Okay, I want this product and I decide to buy it, even though it doesn't have any review just yet. And I don't know like what past customers say about it. They have all the evidence that can support their purchase decision. I put the link to the book in the description of this episode. You should definitely check it out. I like books because it's cheap and it's fast to consume. Not like lengthy online courses. I have to pay several hundreds of or thousands of dollars, and books, you know, is not expensive, and you can go straight to the part that you want to check quickly. Yeah, learn from it. The speed of reading is much faster than the speed of listening and speaking. So book is fast to consume. So the fourth thing that I have been doing consistently is to watch out my PPC carefully. I check my PPC portfolios at least weekly, and I still optimize campaigns myself. And at the same time, I have an assistant to help me manage a number of portfolios. We do catch up weekly to review of what is going on. For PPC, I did hire 2 people in the past. It wasn't very effective, and I know that hiring or outsourcing PPC is the challenge for many of us, not just myself. So until I find a good agency, a capable person to take care of my business, I still watch out it myself. And Amazon PPC can spend money very fast, and the platform is not as stable and sophisticated as Google PPC, I have to admit. I did a lot of Google PPC in the past in my jobs before, and now I'm still doing Google PPC. Sometimes I have advertising campaigns for my products, and so the platform is not that stable yet. I'm not talking about just features, but sometimes I see a sudden hike or increase in the impression and clicks without me increasing bidding. I know that Amazon PPC, they have pressure in PPC or advertising revenue as well. So that's why I always watch my PPC carefully, and I highly recommend you do too, at least weekly, to know what is going on. Another note is that I use advertising cost of sale as the main metric to measure my PPC performance. I know that many people talking about TACOS, TACOS, but I just use it as a secondary metric in measuring PPC performance. Advertising cost of sale is the primary metric. And remember that TACOS doesn't exist on Amazon Advertising Console. It was invented by PPC software, and I don't know, like the PPC advertisers community, to basically it gives you a broader view of much of PPC spending over the total sales of your product. But remember, apart from Amazon PPC, you have to spend money on other traffic acquisition, and using TACOS to evaluate Amazon PPC performance only, I think that is when you give Amazon PPC all the credit for all the sales, including organic sales, but it is of another topic and I have a video for it, and I put the link to the video in the description of this episode. If you like, you can check it out. And the last thing, the fifth thing, I don't think that is the last thing, probably just the fifth thing that I include in this episode, and I think they are the most important, is that I'm trying to cut off 3PL warehouse in my supply chain. So what I'm doing is to send directly products from manufacturer in China directly to Amazon FBA using Amazon Global Logistics, and at the same time I have my manufacturers storing the products for me that I haven't shipped out to Amazon yet. Instead of sending them instantly to 3PL once the production is finished, I try to keep my inventory at supplier's facility as long as possible. Now I can ship to Amazon warehouse distribution using Amazon Global Logistics. So Amazon warehouse distribution network is AWD, and then I can drip ship from AWD to FBA. If I do this, I will save completely the inbound placement fee. As you know that if you ship products from AWD to FBA, you will not be charged inbound placement fee, which is per unit fee, and it's significant to a number of categories. But I'm still a little bit hesitant to send a big amount of stock to AWD. So I've just sent a smaller amount of stock to AWD to see how it goes. But that is the situation, and that's what I have been trying to do, to cut off third-party warehouse in the US completely in my supply chain. So by doing that, I will save a number of fee items in my per unit cost. Firstly, I will save the inbound placement fee if I ship from AWD, and even though if I ship directly from China to FBA, I still have to pay the inbound placement fee, but I will save the time that the products have to be shipped to the third-party warehouse, and I will save the receiving fee, forwarding fee from the third-party warehouse, and the storage fee from third-party warehouse as well. So I saved literally 3 cost items if I ship directly from my suppliers in China to FBA, right? And the second scenario is that if I ship to AWD, I will save the inbound placement fee, and it's faster and it's cheaper. Actually, I have done 2 shipments from China to AWD, and to be honest, the Amazon Global Logistics fee is also lower for those 2 shipments. Basically, I don't want third-party warehouse in my supply chain. I believe that many of you, the situation would be pretty similar to mine. So that's what I have been doing. Just do the calculation yourself. Put it on the Excel sheet or Google sheet. I always have that to watch out my per unit cost. Besides, I have the software to measure my profit and watch out all the costs. But I also do the calculation myself. Just do the calculation yourself and try to see the scenario of you not using a third-party warehouse to see how much percentage of the net profit will increase if you do that. Okay, so 2024 is going to be not an easy year for all of us. However, there are still a number of things that we can do, and as what I have shared with you, to maintain, to protect our net profit margin, and even in some cases, for some products, even increase the profitability of the product. So here is the recap of 5 things that I have been doing this year. 2 of them actually started from last year. The first thing is to reduce the packaging size of the best-selling products. The second thing is to optimize and improve the listing conversion rate. And check out my book about how to build a 7-figure Amazon listing from day 1 in the description of this episode. The third thing is to discontinue a number of SKUs in my product portfolio, which are no longer good contributors to my net profit. And the fourth thing is to keep a close eye on PPC, which is always important. And the fifth thing that I have been doing is trying to cut off third-party warehouse and other unnecessary steps in my supply chain. Okay, so let me know what you have been doing to maintain and improve your profit margin. And if you have any comment, put it in the comment section below. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.